In music theory, the concept of resolving is when a chord progression leads to an expected note. Even without formal music education, most people feel that it's right when musical tension, called dissonance, leads to a pleasing note, called consonance. Resolving is when dissonant notes lead to stable, satisfying consonance. Now, my biggest passion is arts education. In the mid-90s, my biggest passion was music, live music, more specifically the band Phish. Now, briefly, Phish, with a PH, is an improvisational rock band known for their wide-ranging, genre-hopping music and their technical prowess. For years, they were one of the top-grossing bands in the United States, and Rolling Stone actually called them the most important band of the 90s. With over 1,000 songs in their repertoire, they attracted a diverse fan base who began to follow them from city to city. I've seen Phish in concert 62 times in 13 states and 4 different countries, but many of my friends have actually seen them far more. Now, yes, some Phish fans are barefoot, patchouli, love and light, veggie burrito, prep school hippies. But even more are open-minded, technical, intellectual, and passionate, not just birds of a feather. And they tracked what the band did from the beginning, but in time, built a website, phish.net, that tracked set lists and statistics. And alongside that, formed a nonprofit organization called the Mockingbird Foundation, dedicated to protecting and curating all that information, but also to raising money for music education for children. The website then included all that data, but also accepted donations. In 2004, at the height of their popularity, but tired of the grind of a rock and roll lifestyle, Phish decided to walk away, to give up the ghost. With their destiny unbound, the band split. Fans sought to mend the rift in their life, to resolve that dissonance. Many were swept away to new ventures and new music, but not me, because I'm a programmer at heart, and it frustrated me to see all that Phish data go to waste. So I made contact with the Mockingbird Foundation team and asked them if I could help update the website, and they let me rewrite the whole thing. This website was made in Orlando. Whew, yeah. So in 2008, I lifted the curtain on an all-new Phish.net, reinvented, redefined, and just a few months later, Phish announced their return. For fans, it was party time. Fans of 20-plus years resumed tallying their show totals, and a new generation of fans began collecting their own impressive statistics. Alongside that, Phish.net exploded, with tens of thousands of people registering and forming a community around that site. And it was at that point that I was invited to become a director on the Mockingbird Foundation board and a vice president. The foundation undertook the massive project of publishing the most authoritative book on Phish ever produced. So, after years of effort and revision and collaboration with top-notch designers and artists within our community, we published The Phish Companion, and the book sold out its entire 10,000-copy run. After 10 years building the site, and 3 terms on the board of the foundation, I decided it was time to step down and help the foundation focus on sustainability and continuity. The site had to survive me, and the foundation had to survive the very long fuse left by its founders. But they threw me a curveball. They didn't just ask me to get back on the train, they wanted me to be president of the foundation. And with kids of my own, children I wanted exposed to arts education, that mission resonated stronger than ever. So, there I was, catapulted into the leading node of this organization, and we had responsibility to donors across the world, the largest of which was, and continues, to be Phish themselves. And we've done some pretty amazing things. This man is an Athabascan fiddler. This style of music is native to inland Alaska, and it forms the foundation for traditional Alaskan music. It was brought by miners and trappers making their way down the Yukon who stopped and would teach the natives dance and music. So when villages, literally only reached by dog sled and helicopter, found their elders were losing mastery of this unique style, the Mockingbird Foundation was able to step in and assist. Young Tradition Vermont sponsors the Instrument Petting Zoo, which is an installation in public places like schools and parks for the express purpose of letting people play instruments. Like Young Tradition Vermont, the foundation believes that musical exploration is one of the keys to creative development. And in Chicago, the Clinton Harp Circle of Diversity is an after-school program that caters to students on the low end of the socioeconomic scale. Many are refugees, they speak 40-plus languages and dialects, and they struggle to communicate with their new peers. They bond in harp circles where they learn not just to play music, but to work together and communicate, oftentimes with students they can't otherwise communicate with. With grants in all 50 states, the All Volunteer Foundation has raised and distributed over $1.5 million, mostly in micro-donations. I told you about just a few of the over 400 grants we've been honored to award. And with less than 1% overhead, almost every dollar that has been donated has found its way into the hands of deserving programs. I don't think the people who founded the Mockingbird Foundation all those years ago knew that they were creating this kind of movement. 20 years later, we permeate the entire Phish community, protect decades of intellectual property, and faithfully record and publish every last detail about Phish and its music. All things reconsidered, even I didn't know what I was getting into when I got my first taste of Phish back in 1996. Phish is still going strong. Fall tour starts this month. And they have reached a healthy and sustainable balance. For them, a perfect harmony. And Phish.net has almost 100,000 active users now. And it too has reached its own stable melody. It's the golden age of the Mockingbird Foundation, where we're reviewing applications for our 24th round of grants right now. And my chords, at least on this scale, have resolved, bringing my love of music to a stable, satisfying consonance.